How's it going, everyone? I'm back out here at the river again today. I've been hitting this spot pretty hard the last month, but it is some of the only open water left in the state of North Dakota right now. Pretty much everything else is covered in ice, and even here when I pulled up this morning, I had to chip away a little bit of that shoreline ice there, so I've got a spot to launch my kayak. But the fishing's been great out here, so we're gonna give it a go again today. It's early December right now, and we've really been lucking out up here with the mild weather so far. We've got another beautiful day today. It's sunny, calm. It's supposed to warm up to the mid-40s, so I'm going to take advantage of the day and spend it out here on the river. We're going to try for some pike again, maybe some muskie if I'm lucky. I'm going to paddle my way downstream here. There's a little bit of a deeper area where I'll usually find them late fall and even in the winter. I've caught some real nice pike in this spot, so I'm going to work my way downstream to that. We'll toss some lures around and see if we can hook into anything. So I am coming up on that deep hole up here. I'm just kind of keeping an eye on the bottom. It is starting to get deeper, so I'm going to drop anchor right here, and we're just going to ease our way into here. I'd say the average depth on this stretch of river is probably 3 to 4 feet. I think up here it gets to, I don't know, 7 or 8 feet deep. So it's a nice little wintering spot for them. Kind of got deep water off to one side and a little bit more of a shallow flat off the other. So depending on what kind of mood they're in, they'll usually be in one of those two spots. Figured I'd go with that Savage Gear 4-play swim bait again today. I've been getting a lot of use out of those lures the past month, but I subscribe to the old theory, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. I've been catching a lot of fish with those lures, and I find them to be a pretty good lure to throw out here on the river. I don't snag up a whole lot with it. I mean, I could be throwing jigs and catching fish out here, but the problem with throwing jigs, there's just so many sticks and logs on the bottom. I'm snagging up every 2 or 3 casts. Instead, with this lure, I snag up maybe 2 or 3 times on a whole trip out, and I can usually just paddle up to it and knock it free with my paddle. So I like it. It's a frustration-free lure for the most part, and that's a pretty big deal for me. Plus, the big fish like it, so that always helps. I am going with the perch pattern out here today. It's a little beat up. That one's already caught a few, but that just means I know that works. It is absolutely beautiful out here right now. Oh yeah. And a nice pike on my line makes it even more beautiful. Just sitting here taking in some of the nice weather when all of a sudden something came and gave my swim bait a nice thump. Come on up here. There's a nice pike to start off the day. Well, there's the first fish of the day. Decent little pike on that Savage Gear 4-play. I'm gonna get him unhooked before he tries to thrash or do anything crazy and put one of those hooks in me. I always get a little bit nervous with pike and multiple treble hooks. Yeah, I was just kind of sitting here taking in the scenery, and he surprised me with a nice thump on the end of my line. Yeah, that's the kind of surprise I like. One more look at him. And we'll send him on his way. Just been sitting out here watching the birds flying by and the otters. There's a couple of them swimming along the bank. It kind of freaked me out a couple of times. They splash right next to me. I think it's a big fish or something. Then I just see one of those little guys swimming by. I'm still throwing that swim bait right now. I did switch over to a Storm 360 GT for a little bit. I haven't really had any action on either. I did have a couple little pike chase that swim bait back. But I don't know, maybe they're just not in a biting kind of mood right now. Hopefully at some point that switch will get flipped on. I have seen a couple little pike swimming around in this little bit deeper area that I have been fishing so far today. I haven't seen any real big ones, so I don't know, with that sun shining bright, maybe those bigger fish are sitting up shallow somewhere, taking in some of that warmth. I don't know. I'm going to give it a few more minutes at this spot, then I'm going to keep working my way downstream. I'll try a couple other spots and maybe throw some casts as we drift downstream. What was that? I think I just ran my lure into a rock or something over there, or a big carp. A lot of times there'll be a bunch of carp hanging out over here. I think that might be what this is. Just in case though, I'm gonna stop right here, drop that anchor, throw it back there. It didn't really feel like a bite. See if we had a big old carp scale on it. Oh, you know what? I do have some scales. They look smaller though. It could be another kind of rough fish. There could be some suckers or something up there. Or I could have just ran it into a pike. We're gonna throw it back over there. Let's see if we can't figure out this mystery. Pike sitting right next to me here. There's a big pike sitting right down here next to me. He's just like, feed me, feed me, feed me. Please, I'm gonna reel my lure in real slowly here. Dude, this is a big pike. I'm trying not to move too much. I wish I could grab my selfie stick and drop it right down in front of him here, but I don't want to move that much. I got him. That was crazy. Whoops, reaching the wrong way for my net. Come here. Unbelievable. I cannot believe that just happened. I saw this pike sitting right next to me. He was looking right at me. I dropped my lure to the other side of him and I settled down. He went right over to it. All right, I'm gonna get this guy unhooked here and we'll have a quick look at him. That was crazy. All right, I got my lure back from that fish. I still cannot believe that just happened. That is such a rush when you can see a fish pretty much right next to you like that. Get a lure in front of him and just watch him eat it. That was crazy. And here I thought that was just carp over there I was running that swim bait into. Yeah, it's a decent pike right there. All right, I'm gonna set him free. That's just funny though, how that happened. Sometimes you're out for several hours just having a tough day of fishing, and all of a sudden the river says, here, have a fish. Thanks, river, I'll take it. I did work my way downstream a little bit farther and tried a couple different spots, but I didn't find anything. So I'm gonna start paddling back up toward my truck, and I do think I'm gonna stop back at that first spot where we started out today. That's usually a productive spot. I didn't find a whole lot there earlier, but you never know. There could be a pile of pike in there by now, or maybe they just didn't feel like biting earlier. So we're gonna stop back there and give it another try on our way back. Not much action out here today, but this is a perfect day to just be out here paddling around the river. No lucky last minute catch this time. Hey, that's all right though. It was still an awesome day. I got a couple fish in the net. Anytime I can come out to the river this time of year and not get skunked, I am pretty happy. It was a perfect day to be out here too. I just enjoyed being out on the river, soaking in some nature. Yeah, it was a pretty good way to spend the day. So I had a lot of fun. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thanks for coming along with me again. I'll see you next time.